Hi everyone, Piet and Grada. Welcome to our Monday Night Live. We're the founders and CEOs of the Purple House Wellness Center in Forth. And tonight I want to open by asking Peter a question.
I'll say hello first.
Okay, say hello to everyone. Hope you get to tune into our session tonight. It's going to be very interesting, especially if you're a woman or if you're a guy and you have a partner who is a woman or a girl. So Pete, first of all, Pete, don't you feel sometimes that you're very, very lucky that you were born like a guy or a bloke rather than a girl?
I am, because I've helped a lot of women in childbirth, and I tell you what, there wouldn't be a population problem if men had to give birth. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just feeling Pete used to be midwife for many years.
I practiced midwifery.
Okay, sorry.
But no, I've also seen lots of women with lots of health problems, and they have a lot of pain, and often they are overlooked by the medical system.
Because the medical system doesn't have an answer.
They don't have answers for a lot of problems that women go to them with. And one that we're going to talk about tonight is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and there's lots. What was the statistic again?
Well, actually,
they vary
I know,
greatly.
crazy.
Yeah.
So that actually shows it. There's not really any study done, but
some reports said between 2 and 29%
of the population.
Others went up as far as 58%.
Of women who
suffer with
polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is not really well understood, and there's actually no medical answer for it other than the pill, which we don't agree with, by the way. And it causes women a lot of pain, like monthly pain sometimes, sometimes actually every day. The other day we were in a shop, Peter and I, in a hardware store, and a woman who was helping us, she looked incredibly pale, like just very white, and of course I couldn't help myself. I was tuning into her body, and I knew that she had pain in her reproductive system. And yet here she was, like in a male-dominated kind of industry, and all the guys were just walking around without pain in their body. And she was like very efficient. She was most helpful. She was smiling, on top of the game. And I felt such deep sense of appreciation and respect for women, because I know many women are just putting up a brave front because that's all they can do. And on the inside, they really have excruciating pain a lot of the time. So,
and another thing that lots of women suffer with is endometriosis, which stems from child sexual abuse.
Yeah, not just...
and men don't know. They're unaware of it, of the suffering women have.
Yeah, so if you have endometriosis, even obstetricians will tell you, or maybe they won't tell you, but they know anyway, that 80%, how do I say, the root cause of 80% of endometriosis is sexual abuse or sexual manipulation in your childhood or when you were a teenager. And what Peter and I know, though, as well, is that sometimes it wasn't you, right, but it could have been your mom or your dad, because boys get abused as well, and it goes down the line. So sometimes there are DNA memories. And Peter and I have seen that many times, because we've seen, like, literally, I can't, thousands, probably 20,000 people or more. And we've been working for so long now that sometimes we know the history of the grandmother, the mother, and the granddaughter, or some other relatives like cousins, and it's all discreet, of course. But Peter and I know we can sometimes pinpoint the root cause of the trauma, which actually doesn't stop with you. So let's say if something has happened to me in my childhood and I don't look at it,
it can stop with you.
Yeah, but I say if I don't look at it and I don't resolve it, I just put up with the pain, I'm passing that on to my children and my grandchildren, which is something I never want to do. So Pete and I, we're always doing our inner work. Just before I go on, I want to tell you this, so this is why I've got my piece of paper. because my left brain doesn't like numbers. But anyway, it says here, women are twice as likely as men to say they've had health concerns dismissed by their GP. So they go to the GP and with, you know, health problems, feminine problems, and the GP just goes, oh well, you've got a polycystic ovarian, you're perimenopausal or whatever, it's menopause, and you find yourself on the street again without any help. And it says experts say there is evidence of a gender gap in medicine and that women's health is not well researched as men's health. Well, we know that too, because when you look at percentages, it gives you wild numbers. Okay, and then advocates for women's health, they call for a deeper understanding and better education around women's health, including for doctors. So anyway, we just want to talk about this a little bit. So first, probably for both, a standard like baseline thing that we always recommend. Do you want to say, Pete, for everyone? Or do you want
hydration and minerals.
Hydration means drink more water.
Yeah, to drink a litre of water for every 30 kilograms of body weight, and then have a quarter teaspoon of pure salt. We supply Himalayan salt to people because it hasn't got the pollutants that today's sea salt has got in it. A quarter teaspoon of that for every litre of water you drink. Those two things are very simple, can make a lot of difference. And
actually you need them for everything else to work, for all the rest that we recommend.
Those minerals and trace minerals conduct the electrical current around the body, so everything else will work.
Including the hormones.
Yeah, including the production of hormones. The other...
Boron, what about boron?
There are some minerals that we do need more of than just what is in the salt. A pinch of boron is good for probably everyone to prevent aches and pains due to too much calcium floating around in the system, and that combined with magnesium will prevent osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. Osteoporosis being another example of what lots of women after menopause will suffer with.
And it begins before menopause.
It does begin before menopause. So magnesium and boron.
And like, don't slacken off. Like, so many women start on magnesium and then they start to feel maybe a little bit better, and then they stop doing it. I know so many women that do it. Now you just keep going till your last breath, like till you die at age 110. Yeah. Just don't stop taking magnesium and boron.
Because we don't get any magnesium in the foods we're eating.
And it's depleted because we eat too much sugar. And there's too many toxins.
And if we eat food grown with superphosphate, we're not getting any. We may get a little bit if the soil's got some in, but our soil doesn't have much magnesium at all anyway.
Or iodine.
And iodine is the other thing that I was coming to.
Sorry.
Any polycystic problem, be it anywhere in the body, breasts, ovaries, thyroid, liver, you name it, iodine is a key nutrient for ideal health in those areas, and it will reverse those problems that women have.
Yeah. Tammy is just saying, I remember my nan, she made a little cone with paper with baking powder and sulfur. The baking powder might have been bicarb of soda, which is really good for your body. Yeah, absolutely. Bicarb is fantastic, especially in today's world, because it helps your kidneys and liver to cope with toxins. Even it protects you from radiation, like fallout that's in our environment as well. Yeah. So that's another really good one. I don't know about the sulfur, but I do know, sulfur is also really good to clear toxins from the system. I'm not sure where she would have gotten a sulfur from then. Why does keep me up all night, waking up every
it is what we call catabolic inducing. So you take it in the morning, not at night. We need to be awake during the day and asleep at night. So have your magnesium in the morning and it'll help keep you awake during the day.
Yeah, so just experiment with it. Peter takes it in the morning, eh?
Yep.
You take, but I take mine at night.
We're meant to be anabolic during the night, catabolic during the day. But if we're catabolic at night, we wake up all the time. And
yeah.
magnesium does have a bit of a catabolic inducing effect.
Anyway, catabolic means breaking down. So all day long we break down, literally. That's normal for everyone. And all night long we are anabolic, which means repairing. Sometimes that mechanism isn't working as well in people.
Plus have lots of saturated fats.
Yeah, but
just saturated fats.
I like magnesium. Yeah, they're good. Magnesium tissue salts, they actually support your body as well to get as much magnesium as you can from other foods too. I was just going to say everyone is different because like Pete and I, other than being boy and girl, Peter's catabolic generally and I'm anabolic, so I take my magnesium at night. I take 5 every night.
I have mine in the morning.
And it works very well for me.
I have 4 every morning.
And sometimes if I have a crisis or something like emotional stresses that I have no control over, I've taken 10 or 15 tablets, you know, so, and that's fine. You'll know when you've had too much if you get diarrhea, right?
And the other thing about hormones in women is the liver needs to be in tip-top shape. Because the liver has how many? 500 different functions, and one of those is the breakdown of hormones. So if it can't work properly due to a multitude of different things,
well, it's just overloaded.
Overloaded with too much.
Get shit on the liver.
Too much stored fat within the liver will prevent it from filtering the blood properly. So getting your fuel source out of fats rather than sugars, you will empty that clogged up liver out.
But we need beet flow, eh? Okay.
And beet flow helps open up the little bile ducts.
I have 4 every night.
To get rid of the waste.
Yeah. And
it also helps to break down excess hormones floating around and get rid of them out of what Grada calls the South Gate.
Oh yeah, the toilet.
Yeah.
Actually, Pete, when you think about it, I hardly ever have shit on the liver anymore, hey? And
no.
I used to be very flighty.
So a sign of your bile not flowing properly, which means the liver's not getting rid of the waste properly, is bloating with letting off.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, most blokes have that as well, but supposedly women never let off, but I think that's a lie.
No, it's true. But we let off like different ways. So like I used to get really angry with Pete, and I used to just be really impatient and frustrated, and I used to hate myself for that. So that's like a sign of shit on the liver. But I just wanted Peter to actually tell you, I've been really good for years now, and I think that's just because I'm always taking my supplements, especially lots of magnesium, lots of beet flow. Pete and I have been doing our iodines now since 2006. We were probably the first ones in Australia ever to be introduced to iodine by a doctor from America. And we attended one of her workshops after I had an accident because I wanted to heal real quick. So we flew to Sydney, and I was still really broken. I couldn't sit. I had to lie down in the classroom on a beanbag. And she gave us a bottle of iodine. And we thought, well, what's that? You know, being ignorant of iodine. And she went on to say that it cured her cancer at the time and so on. And she said, everyone needs to just take it, take my word for it. So we started to supply iodine then through the clinic. So it's really good for babies as well, by the way, but I'm going off tangent.
We've read articles from a professor of endocrinology, which is the hormonal system, saying that if we're not taking 100 times the recommended daily allowance of iodine, it's not doing us any good at all.
Yeah, and people are being very cautious with iodine when you should be cautious about not taking it because it really kicks in everything. So if you're a woman with polycystic ovarian syndrome or perimenopausal, which also means anxiety a lot of the time and mysterious issues in your tissues that come and go, and also hot flushes. I'll just put it in a nutshell again. Drink more water, have more salt, have your iodine, boron, magnesium, beet flour, and then stay away from toxic oils. So toxic oils are canola oil, all the toxic oils on the supermarket shelf. They, like all the oils in see-through plastic bottles, are highly, incredibly toxic, and they will give you the hot flushes. And then
hormone disruptors.
Oh yeah, and then I also want to say, I hate to say this, break it to you by the way, but women's livers can only probably handle a tablespoon of wine per week, right? This is a research by doctors who specialize in women's health, and they say women's livers are just not equipped to break down wine at all. So if you are perimenopausal or you have health problems in your reproductive system, you have to lay off drinking wine, which I think lots of women have wine to chill out a bit and to reduce the stress and get rid of the pain. But actually it's going to bite you in the bum. So apparently our livers are really different to guys. And so like a tablespoon a week, that's really all your liver can handle.
Tammy just asked, does bread still have iodine in it?
No.
It doesn't. It has bromide now, which is toxic. And if we don't have iodine, we get plenty of fluoride, chloride, and bromide, and they'll jump in the receptor sites for iodine.
And then you get toxic hormones.
You get toxic hormones.
Yeah.
So we need to flood our system with iodine to prevent toxic hormones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so iodine is absolutely key.
Molecular iodine or colloidal iodine is not a compound form, so our kidneys get rid of the excess if we ever get any excess.
Just goes into the toilet.
The compound form can build up into the body and become toxic.
Thank you, Tammy.
Like potassium iodide, which is the iodine that is added to processed salt. Mm-hmm. That's where the government puts it now, in processed salt, which isn't all that good for us because it's bleached and has anti-clagging agents and a whole heap of extra stuff. Yep.
Hi Linda. Pretty much everything that you buy off the supermarket shelf, you have to be suspicious of. I hate to break it to you.
How are you, David Webb?
Yeah. And then there are things like artificial sugar. I mean, there's so many toxins galore. Artificial sugar is in 6,000 products on the market that also is extremely harmful to your body and to your hormones. Artificial sugar. Well, anyway, I can go on tangent. But
lots of hormone disruptors that our livers have to get rid of also, but they disrupt our hormones in the meantime, and they're all the plastics.
Microwave. Never put plastic in the microwave. Never microwave your food anyway.
And then in all our body care products like makeups, shampoos, deodorants, toothpaste, make sure you get
organic.
Well,
non-toxic.
Non-toxic ones. Mm-hmm. Because our livers have to cope with that, and it's an immense amount of. It's kilograms worth that our livers have to cope with each year.
Every year now, that's shocking, isn't it? I read it somewhere, I think 5 kilos of toxins or something.
Our livers have to cope with as many toxins in one day as my grandparents did their whole lifetime.
In a whole lifetime.
So we're bombarded with toxins left, right and centre all the time.
Yeah, so these products, and I'll put it in a little article, they will definitely support you. And believe me, in today's world, we do need to extra support our bodies. Yeah.
So we
have other things. We have enzymes. We've got detoxification.
For the liver, Swedish bitters, beet flow. Then we've got detoxicator, which is also an enzyme mix to help aid with digestion, but helps detoxify the digestive system. Anna's wild yam cream, very beneficial for hormone imbalance. There's another one too, which is what's that South American radish?
Oh yeah, maca powder.
Maca powder. We've got it in capsule form now.
Oh yeah,
so
but you don't need it.
we've got it in capsule form now, so it's easy to take.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you need it.
If you
have
take
it in a
maca
smoothie.
powder, your libido will go through the roof. Okay, stone silence. So just be careful who you serve that to, right? But it's really, really good. It's a hormone supporting. It's a food actually. It's actually a radish, so it's very, very safe and it works. It's very effective as well. And when you think about it, maca powder has only really been available to the public, again, probably since 2005 or something. It's fairly recent.
We had one client, she had reached menopause and having hot flushes. And she started taking maca powder and she lost her hot flushes, but she got her period back again. So she preferred her hot flushes and she went off maca powder.
But actually, if that's the case...
But it was regulating her hormones.
Yeah. It's just probably balancing something. And then the body would have settled, which is better. It was dealing with unfinished business. I was just going to say that the universe is supplying us with the remedies that we need in this toxic world, because like in the 90s you didn't know about maca powder, so like there are remedies that come along as humans become more challenged by the toxic environment. And then I just want to finish also by saying if you have issues with your reproductive system, whether you're a man or a woman, but especially women, because I do feel they need more help, please come and book in for a session or a regular session, because we can get to the root cause of your issues very easily, because of the way we've trained ourselves now over the decades. So like I only have to feel your body and I can tell straight away the whole history of your body jumps out at me, and then I can release that stuck or traumatic energy, and so you'll instantly feel better. It's the same as Peter can do the same using he's developed his own way of doing it. Same though, like you'll feel better. You don't need to explain how. I just want you to know that you instantly feel transformation in your body. And then usually if you have deep-seated problems, you probably do need 3 sessions, which isn't asking that much. And I mean, it's better if you just come back every month or every 2 months or every 3 months and get a complete tune-up for your body, like get a complete reset, because that's what we do. And also, I'm doing a reflexology workshop in 2.5 weeks' time. It's on a weekend. It's a weekend workshop, but you go home at night. So Saturday, Sunday, the 17th and 18th of July or something like that, or it might be 18th and 19th. I still have a few spaces left. And reflexology is so good because you can balance your hormones from the inside out, like through the reflex points on the feet. And
or someone can do it for you.
I teach you how to do the whole, like let's say I teach you everything in one weekend. It's like a real crash course, but you get to relax on the table for half the time, of course, because like I get people to pair up. And so reflexology gets to the root cause, removes toxins from your body, supports your body, and it puts in healing energy, so you go into a really deep healing state, and so you're on the receiving end. But also if you're interested, you can go home and heal your family around you, which I think one of my dreams is that every family or extended family has its own healer. Peter's gone all glazy, but it's something that's easy to learn. Anyone can learn it, and it's fun as well. So actually we have the reflex points on our hands as well. And so the reproductive system is like, there are your ovaries, the ovary points that stimulate ovaries. And this is the uterus, right? For guys, this would be the male reproductive system. And you just go like this. So you can all do that now while you watch me. So you get a feeling of Chinese burn, but you're actually working these points. And that's going to, if you do this every day, like you're watching television or waiting in front of a red light, just filling in time, you're going to stimulate the body to release its own healthy hormones. And it's also very supportive. So there are lots of tricks that can be done to support you to have really, really great health. Okay, doke. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And let us know if you have any questions or if you want us to talk about something next week. We're open for suggestions.
Yep.
Otherwise, we always have plenty to talk about. Okay, so, okay. Yeah, she grabbed your wrist, yeah. Well, so she knew a lot of stuff. You were, Tammy, so you were lucky to have a nan like that. And so that's right, a lot of that practical, down-to-earth wisdom kind of has disappeared a little bit, but it's still there sometimes. It's still there, like if we can all just communicate and share these, share what we know, you know, communities start to thrive again, and that's really what I want. So I hope to see some of you in my reflexology weekend. It's awesome, awesome. Okie doke. See you, everyone.
Right.
Look
Have a
forward
good
to
week.
seeing you
Yep.
next week. Stay warm. Okay. Bye. See you.